Inne. Наверное, четко. Да ну нахуй. Mikrofon işlemeye kolla. Bля, bu FURIA bilet 3 gitti. İşlemeye kolla. Да ну нахуй. Mikrofon işlemeye kolla. Bля, bu FURIA bilet 3 gitti. Balar qilamiz. Bu yoqqa ketadi.
Factors in. That's where math guy gets you.
O FURIA comeback qilibdi.
It's math guy versus
Uchun o'laydi.
The director. But there are moments we're watching the game, and there's moments where we would pause. Right? We would say, call a pause. And sometimes we call it out when it feels like a team is not taking those. That felt like a great time to do it. 3 back here for Furia as we get into another rifle.
It's 3 without bomb plants too. And a lot of action towards top mid thus far. Nade with Yuri's name on it. That's gonna drop him. Get this strong ace start out of Furia because Molodoy's ops got a deep angle through the apartments. So just banking on the rookie towards B solo. But with so many players inside of A, you think Yuri can just watch this window for eternity. It's going to take a lot to turn him. And so, as you hear that utility hit the bomb site, he remains locked in. No reason to look elsewhere because of the numbers that Furia have positioned appropriately.
Ooh, no bomb spotted, but the bomb also is in mid trying to get into connector.
Looking to find its way out. Wonderful now wrapping that bomb back around towards the main entrances.
Slight paranoia from Molodoy to see if this is a fake, but in general, they're still leaving him over here by himself. They're still quite confident they knew what the plan was.
Just this constant jump spot as KSerato is tasked to keep his head down. T's coming into this one now with a single smoke canister on Wonderful, a single flash on Bit. Very low utility here at 35 seconds. Could bank on the gun duels, and Bit finds one. Labored effort from KSerato. That is not as clean as you would hope for. And yet still, we're back to the 2 versus 2. That bomb gets dropped in the attack to the bomb site. Kindar's 30 health versus Bit on this bomb site. Molodoy goes for the recovery, and as he picks up that bomb, he'll also pick up the frag. Molodoy smoked off. That's a lot of space for NAVI, and he writes off this potential mid-threat. It's a done deal.
Okay.
NAVI put that squeeze on the A site and come out on top.
Loving the huge plays out of Bit. Another 3K for him and around on the board off the tack for NAVI. Stay flexible, says Bit. Says Blade.
Oh,
and Bit hears him.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is and this is also KSerato. He's taking a minute to put together the spray, but you see who gets the kills, the guy above. So, you know, best case for KSerato, he gets 2 back off that play. Maybe he saves his teammate if he peeks out a little early. Look at disapproval up there from Gary.
NAVI.
Here's Molodoy though, you know, instead of leaving him passive over towards the B apps, why don't you get him
active?
Because off of a sudden flashback, he's got himself 2 easy pickups.
NAVI are frying here.
In a round where all the economy for Furia is on the line, they face now this 3v5 with a pistol for Fallen.
That was the heaviest point of the attack. They sit over 2 guns that Furia would like to get back.
Wow, total change of pace as well from NAVI. It's the same destination in this A site. Missed off shot could have reopened the threat, but fine is Bit with the headshot towards the ticket side. And that rotation, stopping all the while, is going to be found on the back turn. And so this one just remains easy for NAVI. Off of the squeeze into that bomb site to a well-timed flash. A golden flashbang and a golden ticket to this 5-3 lead.
Will NAVI make Furia regret potentially allowing this veto to happen? Obviously, Inferno is Furia's pick, so we'll see about that. But so far, so good for the team that wins Mirage. This is what they do. think it's been 6 in a row for NAVI on this map.
NAVI finalga chiqadimi?
Yup, that's 6 straight Mirage victories before this, including a win over FURIA.
You know, you ask, right? Like with the
FURIA
tactical timeouts, you never know if a team focuses in on the round immediately after or the next one after that. And I feel like sometimes Blade's good for the 2-for-1 package. And, you know, the tempo change up between those rounds. Either Alexi's a genius, which I'm not doubting either. But there's a world where Blade comes in and they have that kind of combo set. 2 very convincing rounds for NAVI back-to-back. Imez just got a bloodbath queued up. Beast, my friend. Quad kill made easy by way of Furia's pistol. And so 3 rounds for NAVI to start, 3 for the rebuttal of Furia, and 3 again here for NAVI.
Hey, job's not finished, but this half, they've already met their quota. 6 rounds. They're looking very strong.
And right on cue, huh? 3 more rounds in a row.
Right.
And the opposing coach takes his first time.
We're talking about Titans right now, doing battle. Heavy hitters.
Yo'qda mouse space'ga yutqazdi.
Your own roster, the other team gets the same.
Yo'qda FURIA. Hali yutqazdi deya olmayman, FURIA.
Now the CT response in connector could have been a good play. The fact that there was the instant connector flash with 2 players swinging low. If FURIA had seen that coming, they would have opted for something different.
FURIA o'zini pikida yaxshi. Inferno'da
it's a round where both teams come back with a purchase.
Oh, miss smoke. You know, some smokes aren't on purpose.
On Blade's team,
smoke minus.
You know,
30 lashings.
That's yeah, that's a attack pause that's going to feel a little less potent after that, but early in the rounds might be a non-factor. Question is Emma going to come through this? There's always a right and wrong time to try something like this. Molodoi is actually quite vulnerable here. Now he's watching.
It would take some nerve. With a second smoke
it's an invitation.
He sees that as a chance to at least push 1 step closer. And with vision, now the timing could be at any moment. And he gets his fight into connector. Molodoi's got to turn all of it away. Mikaze actually oversteps Ima in for the entry and the 5v4 advantage. Round 10 starts with an opening kill to NAVI's favor, one where I feel like there could have been even more depth decay for FURIA to have to handle. Connector players survive that test. Yakindar steps back, sitting on only 50 points of health here. We've got this group up inside Connector. And as they inch their way closer to him, he tries to strike them down. No answer yet. Yuri's been rock solid within this bomb site. E2 destroyed. And there is not one piece of that defense that goes well for FURIA.
Whoa, the machine has started rolling here. KSerrato, 1-on-5 situation. NAVI have dominated mid in these last few tries. Mikaze,
clutch.
He does this in front of Emma, made space in front of the smoke, got out and made it 2 frags. You can see that there was a bit of tentative hesitation out of Emma. Once he had gotten in front of the smoke, he thought maybe that's enough. Once he got that spray in the connector, but someone survived. It was actually Molodoi who was nervous. Mikaze recognized that. And they pick apart the setup. NAVI, another heavily doubted team. And they wouldn't be if it wasn't for the fact that this is such a stacked playoffs, right? It's hard to entertain anything except for this, you know, 4 best teams potentially taking this.
Okay.
I was behind him. Not even through this. No luck involved in that one.
Just right on the side of the smoke. Mikaze gets blasted to tomorrow. And we haven't seen any big mistakes come out from either team so far this map, so you'd think Desert Eagles shouldn't be enough.
Massive moves being made with very little bits of utility, players on weak weapons, but the map control and the player advantage on their side. Got to be careful now.
Biggest issue we've seen so far was that 1 missed smoke out of NAVI. Other than that, it's been a clean, high-level game of Counter-Strike. The right-timed pauses with results off the back of them.
This next bullet could be the round. Could be recovery, could be a disaster.
Versus 3, though, fallen awaits. Oh, how fast does the first one swing? Faster enough, but still Fallen keeps up. It's Alexi who pays the price for that entry. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. Clips KSCERATO on the jump over. Fire's going to burn Yakindar ever closer. If Emet dies in middle, that would be a gun offered up, but everything's going... Oh, come on.
Ne yapıyorsun?
Keep going. And what a close here for NAVI. 8 rounds on this T side.
Reaksiyon karı.
From the entries to the solo mid-work, everything comes up their favor.
Fear the NAVI that are having fun. It's a great spot that Fallen puts himself in, but it's perfectly tradable. It's an excellent second shot from Wonderful, and it's another disaster averted on a round that FURIA kind of had going for them. For a second, 5v3.
Yeah.
Going for them. For a second, 5v3 on a round.
Yok.
Tradable. It's an excellent second shot from Wonderful, and it's another disaster averted on a round.
What?
FURIA kind of had going for them. For a
be good. His teammate picks up a kill, and with KSCERATO down, Wonderful. Whoa, missed. Shot up close. Another chance with the big green, and Yakindar keeps that pressure on. A 3v2 for FURIA.
Oh, he's seen 3v2s. Called them before,
FURIA
but I don't know. NAVI brought them close.
So what's the recovery? The one round for the road.
NAVI bron uylop topam. Age balastam.
A moment for FURIA to catch their breath, it seems, to head into that much-needed T-side pistol with a bit more confidence than what you'd have if you let NAVI slide away with all.
12 kills apiece, so 2 players alive here for NAVI.
Oh.
That's going to confirm it. Yakindar's ready. And so he'll lock in his frag. Here comes Emet for the clutch. Great cover here for Yakindar.
I am. Oh, Fallen.
Fallen able to take that gap shot in order to find the one round for the road. It was a burst of success early for FURIA. A 4th round at the tail end, but 4 is all they'll find.
Aynı şekil. NAVI'de şans var mı finale çıkışga? Agar FURIA'ni yutsa, Face bilan o'ynaydi, Face yutsa finalga chiqishi mumkin.
Well, preparation here for NAVI succeeds in the face of a FURIA that gave us something to talk about early. That string of 3 rounds had no bomb plants within it for the NAVI side, but Blade took that timeout, Mohan, and from the moment he took his timeout, it was nothing but NAVI until the final round of the half.
Like clockwork, he'd encountered SIDS a few rounds later. This is a good looking NAVI.
Stay connected a little more on the situations, and let's go.
And it's true. They have been through it all. They do know how to win from this position. Oh, the only new factor is the circumstances. Major quarterfinal. Makaze another kill. 7 frags, but also a lot of impact in that first half.
FURIA hozir 3 kishi bo'lib 5 kishiga qarshi o'ynaydi. Pistaletkada. Важный раунд. Опа. Wonderful.
That could have made things awkward if Molodoi didn't get that instant kill right back.
You know, Molodoi, he had 3 kills last half. He missed that one op shot, and I just kind of skated by it because it's Molodoi. But since then,
bomba tushib qolgan.
Really failed to stand up with that op.
FURIA.
He's going to try to make up for that here in the second half. We'll grab his 4th to make this round a little more competitive. And Yuri, will he take a timing? There's another risk where Alexi could just die because Yuri normally wouldn't push out, but right now he needs to find something for his team. And Bit has already pushed the A ramp. He's not watching this. Oh, that find is so sweet from Alexi.
Isn't that just lovely? Chance towards Palace as well to have found himself a second. That's gonna
one bullet. It's art. It's music.
You know what's sick is that Wonderful did it, Alexi did it, Bit did it, and then Emes here as well to find execution with the pistols. Navi's lead grows with momentum at the start of the defensive half.
That was beautiful to listen to the precision there for Navi in a moment like this. They've got that snowball rolling.
Well.
This thing's about to turn into an
avalanche.
avalanche.
Keyfiyatda. Bomba birinchi kill.
Alexi is the cleanest of them all. Content with that one. No bomb plant means no money. No money means no force buy. FURIA gonna try to save it and hope that somebody makes a mistake.
Force buy.
A Desert Eagle entry from Molodoi at 4 kills, 12 deaths on the map.
Force buy
Doesn't feel like it's his game thus far. Would be a hell of a time to do it. This is already a supported MP9 by Makaze off the catwalk. Missed frag grenade while Alexi eats the flash.
Makaze ikinci kill.
And they don't really do enough to stop this Navi momentum. The ball is fully rolling, and Yakindar slammed out of it as 5 players stand tall for Navi, securing double digits.
No bomb plants to work with. I know we got some Finns in the crowd.
You can just tell.
Makaze ismi nima?
I know we got some Finns in the crowd.
You can just tell.
To work with. I know we got some Finns in the crowd.
Shaqiri.
Hours when nobody expected it. And here they are versus FURIA, the #1 pick to make grand finals.
Yuri. A util here for Yuri behind him, that's fine. He's just gonna play counter flash and try to flex this movement down middle. Window player gets away, and gets away unscathed, notably. Still, flashes kind of interrupt the pace only momentarily. How much of a risk are Navi willing to run? Sometimes they can still feel so risk-averse. But when you've got this much of a lead, this much of a comfort zone to work with, why wouldn't you? Just take a look. See if you can find a free frag versus, say, Fallen. Alexi keeps himself in the corner. He's got cover inbound. Makaze, there's the answer back. It's from Molodoi and Yuri. This 2 versus 5 starts to come together. Shots whiz by both directions through that windowsill. 32 health here for Molodoi, certainly not ideal. And we've got Wonderful currently working with that defuse kit. They need an X-Factor moment, and they needed it 5 rounds ago, but they will take it here in the 15th if they have to. Locked into the corner, Molodoi.
Oh, another incision from Molodoi. 32 health, both frags. Tradable spot, didn't happen. FURIA are back in the game.
2v5, just like that. No success out middle for the attack, but the apartments breaks through.
Sometimes Navi have some low moments. This is a game where it felt like you weren't going to have a round like that. A series of disasters that really took place. They dominated in mid. They had a layup to finish that. They couldn't. But really what's important with a 5-round gap is, does that become 2 rounds? Does it become 3? That's what's on Navi's mind as they take to this one with a couple of concessions, long grenades, 1 kid on Makaze, Alexi on an MP9.
Okay, I like this. Layer it up, right? We've seen Alexi a couple times be the solo van play. So instead of Mikaze maybe floating out around the bomb site, I thought maybe he'd stick around, but still going to go towards bench. At least you get that Colonel defense up against the wall. Little cat play. We'll see what does come their way, if anything at all.
Seeing nothing in the ramp as nades are coming over. So the thing is that they have this push up from Alexi, so they don't have to overreact to the information that they have guaranteed.
Navi did forfeit, was mid-play, and so here comes Furia finding that opening as well. But there's a high likelihood that Navi understand what's coming their direction, and we see that forward press start to fall back.
It's like a high-level read because they actually haven't moved.
More
doubled up in an interesting spot. A-play's coming in.
It's going to block off the jungle side for strong out connector. This is where Bit and Wonderful end up, and only one of them can find success. And one is
wonderful.
Triple kill.
Wonderful.
Slows it down long enough for
even to get into the play.
all the way 60 health to the top of Tetris. He'll catch it.
Yeah, right.
But we've got Navi back to winning ways.
Oh, there were levels right there. Bit seeing the nades come over, calling a false flag on the play, knowing that there actually wasn't an A hit, but the CT's not actually moving.
And on top of that, with Bit not finding a kill, Wonderful had to make up for that and does.
There had to be some next level of depth to that read. Navi pulled this one out, and to be honest, it's the mechanics that bailed them out in the end. But they made so much space for their teammates to come in and rotate, playing double on A ramp, and they gave themselves 2 outs to find those trades. Obviously, Wonderful is 1 in a million at the moment. Rare form. And when Navi won that major the first time in Copenhagen, it wasn't off the back of Wonderful. This is a whole different beast.
So Sly to line that up. You know, good on Bit, maybe the damage there. I'll give him some more credit than I did. Softens up that second target for Wonderful that he can commit to the mowdown. Now Navi feel like Mirage was just a foregone conclusion. You're 2 rounds from victory. You've just answered back to the 1 round that Furia have punctured through with on this T side. And you've got all of the economy back.
Still believe in the round, do something. Be positive, okay?
Be positive.
Always be creative.
Looks like that's working out.
Cinematographer in him.
And, you know, Yuri had a 1v2 moment. They didn't use X Factor to build momentum in this game, Furia. They have a 2v5 victory as well.
Drop. That's going to make it awkward because the timing, it should have been perfect for Mikaze. Now Imez going to get jumped on by that Tech 9. Yo, he gets back around the corner, but there's more inside of jungle. And so K-Serrano just takes the second target. Tethers off connector. Bit.
Perfect pivot.
50 health here for Yakindar. Bomb on his back. And an almost open B site. Just this one flash comes flying out from Market, and that's going to give him info as to where this CT's at. The trajectory of that grenade gives you Kindar a bit of this picture.
Galil and 50 HP, man. Can you squeeze water from stone here, Yakinder?
Look at the health on the others. Sure, Alexi's on 100, but Yakindar's, up close and personal.
Play to trade. That's all you have to do in a 3v1. And that's what they'll deliver. Not only does it look like a win is brewing here for Navi, but it's a stomp, it's a masterclass. It's a win in spite of a 1v2 from Furia, a 2v5 from Furia.
And what felt like could have been way more for K-Serrano in that moment. If he catches Ema on that reload, on that fallback, what could have been.
Navi match point.
Instead, we get this jump out through the window once more. Navi sailing towards the second map of this series.
They're showing this level of prep on Mirage. How bad is it going to get on Inferno?
Single rifle here for the attack of Yakindar. They're going to try to just play with the timing by puncturing it out through the smoke. And pressure on the defenders means space taken here for Furia. Bit gets the fade away. We've got the rebuttal. Off of the lesser weapon, it's 3. Connecting with a headshot. And we have been waiting for him to find his moment. Well, here it could be. Facing the map loss, 7 rounds needed, upgrade, and now that he sits pretty on this op, with low economy on the side of Navi, do they believe in this 2 versus 3?
A safe course alardan
bilar Navi. Crazier things have happened for them in this map. But with Molodoy on this gun, surely not.
Oh, that's a great flashbang. Gets the op shot out and finds Fallen.
Oh, you can't miss
K-Serato's
now.
pause on that M4.
Yo.
Well, he didn't- yeah, wasn't able to
Molotov
cover, so now
AWP'sini
he
olib qo'ydilar.
got the jungle tool and he does it. Oh,
Yaxshi Navi. Birinchi kartani oldi Navi.
onto the defuse. 0.2 seconds. That's what was left on that retake. That is how
Molotov.
meticulous and fantastic Navi's Mirage just was.
That was beyond a script you could write. Navi come into this playoffs after what we just saw earlier today. It somehow stun us even more. What a
Nechidir minut
victory
tanaffus
over the team
beramiz.
that everyone thought would win this easily.
Qachon boshlanishi aytilmaymi? Keyingi karta Inferno. Furia kartasi. Agar Navi biron nima o'ylab topmasa, Infernoda Furiani o'yinlarini yaxshilab ko'rganmagan bo'lsa, bitishi mumkin. Navi. Majorda shans bormi finalga chiqishiga? Hali beri boshlanmaydi. Oy. Nimadir o'ynab turamizmi? Istanbul Guysmi? Steam'dan o'yin qidiramiz. Bu o'yin chiqmagan. Soccer Manager. Soccer Manager. Mana qanaqa o'yin? Mimisiz. Yeah. Korporativ. Ilani. Okey. Ish qilish kerak bu. Jamoa bo'lish kerak ekan. Yo. Qilish kerak. Remont. Yaxshi o'yinmi? Покупайте, ремонтируйте, продавайте и станьте местной легендой. Короче, joy sotib olib, remont qilib, sotib, legenda bo'lyapti. Qancha ekan? $12. Skidka. 8 dekabr. Videosi yo'qmi?
Welcome to House Flipper 2, an exciting flipper simulator experience. In the main menu, you can choose to play in sandbox mode, where you can build
Billet. İşladımı? Короче de. Ol sotdik. Evet. Kızıqroq oyun yo'qmi bir o'zimga? Simulyatormi? Hmm. Komanda yo'qmi? Mana shuni o'ynasak. Kompyuter yo'qmi biron kishida? Qancha ekan? Minimal 8 gigabayt azushka. Video karta uncha kerak emas. Protsessor ham uncha emas. Azushka. Ko'proq azu talab qilingan. Video karta 360 bo'lsa yaxshi ekan. Hatto 2 kishi bo'lsa ham-da. Yaxshi o'yin lekin. Uni o'ynash kerak. Ideyalar ko'p. Odam yo'q, bir o'zim bilan. Mana shu turnir, mana ko'rib, GTA o'ynamasam. Car mechanic simulator. Qayerda edi kategoriya? Сопровождение криминал simulator. Tanks o'ynaymiz, World of Tanks. Farming simulator. Okay, banana. Supermarket. Ne rasmlar o'chiradi. Formula 1 bor ekan. Futbol 26, $40. $40. Ochmasang, ochma rasmlarini bilet. Assassin's Creed. Hocam normal o'yinchi o. $14, 15. TikTok. Horror mu? Головоломка. Yeah, man, nima bu? Moşullatı uçurttu. Oy. Hey, mayli boşlanmam.
Mostly than favorites, but also speaking about favorites, I don't think in playoffs it's, at the major especially it's any favorites. I think it's anyone's game if you play good, if you're on point, and then if you
Нет, пока я просто тебе проявил твою внимательность.
Hala boşlanmadı ikinci karta. Daha şunu üynekençe boşanam. Biz niçin tanavuz verirler 20 minut mu? Nasıl kim verdi manga? Tak mana. Ko'rsatayım. Siydi. Пожарный skidi. Ha. Animatsiya. Animatsiyam yo'q ekan. Meni. Animatsiya. Gegenan. Haha. Peki. La, пожарныйda o'ynaymiz, пожарный. Sabitya. Ha, kerak emas Sabitya. Ketdik. Yana shu zonacham. Qani ha mana. Podarkacham olsak, o'lma. Jey. Birinchi o'rindaman. Ma'olli. Sal qoldi. Nima? GG. Kilile. Men birinchi edim baribir. Ha shu o'yinam jamoa bilan o'ynasa bo'ladi, ha? Qo'shilib o'ynasa bo'ladimi? Men yutaman qaraylar. Lazeri bor ekan. Yo'q, lazerlik bilmayman lekin. Atak. Пожарный. O, lazer kilop. Ne yaptı lazer kilop? Mesela ülke toptu. Oy, oy tutma. Faqat bir kishi yutadi. Davay. La. Aha. Пожарник yutdi. Pas qancha? Aha. 8 dollar. Boshlanmam.
Early on, and they kind of just snowballed with it. They kind of just went with it, and it was impossible for
Alex
Furia to stop them.
Yes, to
B2
go back to the first round of this very match,
Kadir
you're totally right, Devil Walk. He can do it with an AWP, he can do it with a pistol as well. Wonderful, an excellent start to this map of Mirage.
Yeah, I think we kind of highlighted that Molodov would be the AWPer of this series, but Wonderful is definitely making the case that he should be, you know, the highlight name of this series, because having this kind of start, bringing them the pistol round in probably a pretty awkward round for this Navi side, he was just lights out in this game.
He's just been their best player now for 2 weeks straight, which is weirdly, seems like a short amount of time, but it's just the surge that he's providing Navi, just going above and beyond. The pistol round there, a couple of the rounds where he has the AWP, especially late round situations. I mean, he's brought the mentality that he usually maintains through group stages now to the quarterfinals. This is where Navi become such a dangerous team that can seriously find upset victories versus anybody, because honestly, like, that was really the main hole you would poke into Wonderful's cases. Being one of the elite AWPers is that usually at a tournament, you could just bet on it. You could bet on it, whether it's quarterfinals, semis, or grand finals. He's going to have a huge slip up. So for him to start round one and just give himself that confidence, thrust himself into the situation like that, it's everything for Navi.
Yeah, excellent return to form from Wonderful and the most opportune moment as well. Now, Maui, I know you're a fan of an Alexi B T-side masterclass. You've got a round for us. Why did you pick this one out?
I mean, this was a 4v5 start where Navi lost the opening pick, but I would say this is twofold. I mean, one, the crunch from Navi is excellent. It reminds me of their 2024 where all of the Furia players are caught off guard, but the lack of utility that they used, they didn't actually throw almost any smokes in this one. There was no CT smoke, there was no jungle smoke. They went for all of these fights in different directions, and usually you think that's a flaw. You think that's a mistake where, why are you not smoking off one of the angles that the CTs can get you from? But in fact, it left Furia the ones scratching their heads. They had two guys jungle, and they didn't know whether they should fight, stay still, peek, and that, for some reason, these are the kind of little mix-ups that Blade and Alexi B have. These other little just wrinkles in their tactics that make it so hard to play catch-up if you're Furia.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you talked about Blade, the preparation as well.
Navi.
This is the Navi. The most
Hatto bir
dangerous
trenda
when they
o'ylab
get this
topish
amount of
kerak.
time to
Infernoda
prep.
agar
They get the, you
yutqazib
know, to
qo'ysa,
kind of grind in the details, know
yarim
exactly.
finalga
We saw a
chiqish
lot of
uchun.
these rounds, even that round with Alexi B, he knew Molodov would be coming from that short side. He knew that he was just waiting and making sure that he's gonna, you know, kill him when he makes that rotation. So it almost felt like they were on the control no matter what, even in that 2v2. And Bit actually, you know, coming alive in this playoff, coming alive in this game. He's been really slow in getting his numbers up and bringing that input for Navi. And if he's continuing to deliver like this, they're an incredibly, you know, it's a devastating team to play against.
Let's put the shoe on the other foot just for a moment, though, because let's be bluntly honest, this was a dismal start from Furia on this particular map. Round 15 comes about, and they do manage to convert a 2v5. And I'm left here thinking, okay, this could be the comeback moment, a moment that Molodov needed so desperately as well, Devil Walk.
Yeah, he had a terrible kind of start to this game. We saw his frustration. But it's kind of the fact that even in this round, I feel like Navi is playing great Counter-Strike. It feels like Furia needs to hit some amazing shots, kind of scrap their way into a round. Molodoi here, 2 beauties to kind of finish it off. But it was so difficult to get those rounds into Furia's hand. It was so difficult every single time. It was tooth and nail. They had to crawl their way back from a difficult situation. And, you know, you're left wondering, you know, if they're going to play like this, Navi, they're going to need to wake up and need to step up on a big scale going into the next map.
And the problem was for Furia, they couldn't sustain that. That was, unfortunately, the last round they
Yok ki
won for the
Molodoi.
entire map. How did Navi clap back instantly after that?
Biz
I mean, we
Aula
could look
olup
at the next
amına.
round. I mean, there's just so many moments where Navi is the team that's being
Furia'nın
more
olup çıkardı mı?
proactive.
Yarın
I mean,
finalde.
they're emboldened by the fact that their riflers and their opera are informed, but I just love the fact that in this very similar situation to the crunch that Navi pulled off against Furia, it's Navi who have 2 players towards the ramp. They're doubling up. They're able to get the 1 kill towards Palace, cuts off 1 prong of the attack, and then Wonderful stays alive for such a long time that all of the rotations are able to come in. So Ima gets a clean sideswipe on Molodoi, desperately trying to dislodge him. It's just the little extra proactivity that I think Blade talked about live as we had a little quote from him in the game, just being creative, making sure that we're playing on our own terms. That's the kind of stuff that Prime Navi always did, and Furia, for whatever reason, almost were just too reactive in this game.
And it's also like when they get that space, it's almost like Furia didn't really know what to do with it, because Navi knew exactly they're going to chase Wonderful. We need to get our rotations. They covered him. They let the kind of space and time almost destroy Furia in this reaction, because sometimes it can be hard if you're left in a fight, you're going up this mid-ramp, maybe you're expecting jungle fights, close default fights, where you're expecting the battles to happen, but they just kept giving them space, and with their discipline, the rotations already came in, and it almost became a double crossfire from that Tetris and CT side.
And then, quite literally, the final nail in the coffin, the final round of the game. You know, Furia, they managed to get out on the bomb side, they managed to plant the bomb. We're saying, you know, are Navi going to be saving in this situation? They don't. They have the balls to go for the retake. Pays off.
This is ridiculous. I mean, the fact that it's Alexi B and Mikaze as well, I mean, quite unlikely suspects, but I love that they just keep giving themselves more chances, more looks in this kind of round. First of all, Mikaze's flashing for Alexi B to peek from spawn, but then Mikaze still reroutes through jungle, and you could just tell that Furia were none the wiser. They did not know that fight was going to be coming. They didn't think that timing was going to happen, and they're just caught with their pants down. I mean, no, like, maybe that is a Devil Walk reference, in fact. It's just the way that Furia looked in that kind of round was just so uncharacteristic of what we've seen from him for the last 2 months.
We can see the Scope GG stats here as well. Siding with Mikaze coming into this one in terms of some of the key opening jewels around this Mirage 2. How as we do move forward to this Inferno, because as Maui put it, characteristic form from Furia, but this is that map pick. This is what lays in wait. Gonna have to start on the T side though. What are you thinking, Devil?
I mean, I'm still a little bit scared for Furia.
Navi is not comfortable on. Navi yaxshi tayyorlanib xato qilmasa agar Navi olib ketishi mumkin.
He can be very destructive from there, and I think the only real question mark has always been like the banana side. Have they fixed it for Navi? But Furia, great kind of setups. There's CT side. I love the way they approach banana side on CT. Yakinder and Fallen. It's almost like they're masking that they're 3 people, but they're only really playing 2 on that top banana side. They have so many different variations, and it's beautiful CS to watch when it works for this Furia side. But I'm getting a little bit worried.
I mean, the sponsor odds are getting a little bit worried as well. Now siding just a little bit with Navi. Do you believe in this though, or do you smell our first 3-map affair here in Budapest?
I would bet on the fact that it's going to go the distance, that we're going to get a 3rd map. Furia have shown me too much this season, and I even though their backs are against the wall, I've seen Furia lose map picks in the past. I've seen them been down in series. I mean, they were down again 2-0 in the Thunder pick, BO5, and they were able to bring it all the way back. That being said, though, they did lose Inferno. So that's one of the worrying signs about this one, that, you know, Navi, Blade, they've tasted blood on this matchup in particular. And so I would think that if you're Fallen right now, this is where you have to show your expertise as as a leader, not just as a tactician, which they have in spades in terms of ideas and strategies, but being able to help reset Molodoi, because this guy was just in a hole of himself in terms of what he was, how he was opping on that CT side. There was nothing to show for what he did when he had the AWP in his hand, and that was reminiscent of what I saw at Austin. And that is a very scary prospect for a guy that is already cemented himself as the Rookie of the Year to go down fighting in this fashion, or really just go down screaming. I mean, you need to show something in terms of actually biting back against Navi here.
It's such a key piece of that FURIA puzzle as well. Molodoi cannot become absent as well on the second map, right?
No, he's a win factor for them. He's a key player. He needs to be able to bring that AWP down and get some entries going for this FURIA side. But Navi, they're so difficult to gain that advantage from because they're so disciplined, they're so structured. So I'm starting to feel like, is he going to get enough of chances to actually get that done? Or is Navi going to be able to block him off with utility and play their A game?
Truly do or die time here for FURIA in Budapest. It is time to dive on in to Inferno.
Do or die for a team that so many anticipated making it to the grand finals, if not lifting that trophy again. But we've seen favorites fall on this stage. And so Budapest, here they go, versus up a Navi team.
Inferno boşlandı.
This very same map over FURIA not too long ago. You never tell Navi the odds.
You never tell Navi the odds. Words to live by.
We get a fast opening move down Banana here for Alexi B. Devilwalk had a lot of emphasis on Banana as this map goes forward. We'll see if it ends up being an avenue of attack. For the moment, it's the Arch side. Yakinder's got the opening kill, but there's teammates here to help him. Oh, Mikaze able to shave Molodoi off of it with a headshot. They kind of get stalled out momentarily, but we will find FURIA with that rebuttal, that 4 versus 3, and the fast flank down Banana.
Oh no, surely not.
Oh! It gets found out, but it doesn't get dealt with. That's the open door to double back. Knowing that Alexi has pushed means FURIA can take over B.
They gotta go quickly. Alexi's here to meet him right in the pass. Kinder gets a really important frag.
What about the cover? Bomb plant behind that fountain. Oh, it's just clinical with the headshots. FURIA fighting first blood.
This is a game that feels like it's over. It feels like FURIA are gonna lose. It feels like after Mirage, we have very low we've seen teams crumble already. That's the thing. That's where it feels a little scary for FURIA. They need to come off the break, show us that that's all different. They knew what the veto was gonna be, so did Navi. They have to prove in those first 2 maps, like back at Thunderpick, that they aren't going to let that result happen again. And from that perspective, there should be no surprises. Both teams know they can play Inferno. They put the pressure back on a Navi a little bit with this pistol. Let's see if they make it too.
No team gets to secure world's #1 without being tested.
That's gonna hurt.
In terms of trying to hold it.
And that's kind of what you want to see, man. You want to see tactics get kills.
Sure.
In a game like this. That's actually, I think, a lot what won the map back on Mirage for Navi.
I mean, there's a lot of praise to go around for the tacticians on both these teams.
Also a big thing, elephant in the room, Molodoi, he ended that game missing. He had a bad map, he ended it badly. That's also not something that we expected.
It's just been such a rock for FURIA in their run to world's #1. And we go back to Austin with the quarterfinal shortcomings of FURIA there. We didn't know that FURIA would go on to be this great. And so they step into these quarterfinals with such higher expectations from within, from the community. And right now, expectations would be convert this pistol. 5 versus 4 coming with it. Everybody inside of the bracket control here for FURIA, but this is still number strong Navi on this A site, and we already start to see that peel back from B for Alexi. Frag Grenade's gonna whittle down a little bit of health from 3. You've got KSerato low on 40. Pistol's trying to take position inside of the site, and Wonderful finds a headshot.
Wonderful ya.
Bir. Wonderful's got another.
Molodoi bir skok gitken. Arjabla. Wow.
It's a total massacre. No way they pulled that off. Split got into place. It's around that.
Navi ilk roundda.
Closing in on 20 seconds and under. Whoa, they get this from a 4v5. It's Mikaze going down early to Molotovs. It's all looking so sweet for FURIA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not what FURIA needed in this moment.
Not at all. They need to steal this back as soon as possible.
Huracan'a yül tutadi.
We saw what Navi did to phase back in Copenhagen on this map. Everyone knows why we call it Bitferno sometimes. Ima pre-game, any nerves? No nerves. Any nerves from your teammates? No nerves from anybody. Words don't mean a lot from everybody, but certain teams, Navi are of that stature. Navi have proved it when the lights have been the brightest.
I think that's something even back at stage 3 when we had Ima interviews, he kind of alluded to it as well, that Blade's cool, collected mood has kind of been donned by the other parts of Navi. You know, Alexi B is your in-game leader, but we know that Blade has kind of been sharpening Ima as that secondary caller. And we've seen them butt heads in the past. And it feels like that's when the cracks of Navi would grow. But if they're both coming in so level-headed, then why would there be pressure? Because they're learning to deal with it.
I'm not trying to see this round get late. You know, FURIA, it's not a position where Navi are going to scramble to try to figure this out. They need to try to turn this into a win or go and die, honestly, because they don't have a lot of money, no good guns to save.
Yukindar still up in the apartments. Everybody else for FURIA ready to go off mid. Wonderful starts to get back into the bomb site. And yeah, Navi can feel this pressure. It's coming in quick. Flashes and the Tech 9s trying to just bolster through. Bit's got the first one. Will stay on him. He's able to just lay that lead down range.
Oh,
he lost the camera.
Oh, yeah. Bit malak taşadı.
Back around towards
sir.
Bit.
Squad kill.
Sir.
Now we go back to Copenhagen. To a Navi out of nowhere. We're able to win that major. And it's not because Wonderful played brilliantly, was it, Launders?
No, it wasn't. It was because Bit woke up. It was a playoffs where everybody was failing except for JL. He was the only guy to really talk about. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, Bit on Inferno awakened like a phoenix, showed up and absolutely took over the game. Big save, no bomb plant for FURIA.
Bit's somebody who can sometimes go under the radar.
Big time, and it's because his form is so streaky.
But you've got to give his peaks the credit that they're due.
Yeah.
You know, one of the few players who's won a CSGO and CS2 major. A guy whose headshot percentage once upon a time was so far above everybody else.
It was his very first map in a Navi jersey. Was on Inferno. That's when he was looking for Blade's notes. He was looking confused. He was extremely stressed.
So lost.
His aim from Navi Junior wasn't even close. He was one of the rookies to follow after Monacy, where we wondered, is he going to be another phenom? And it didn't look like it. With some time, he got everything into place. He figured it out.
Somebody who's been crafted by Blade for so long now, right? Sharpened to the peaks we've seen. So he will be a reliable piece as this round continues towards an A site. Smoke fading, flash right ahead of it, and again, it's just
Wonderful.
And these pistols are fighting all too much. Wonderful's double kill will be answered back for Ima's double. And with Molodoy on a quarter HP, no teammates left. It is a cleanup here for Navi. As they go 3-1 out of the gate off the force buy.
If you don't have confidence on Inferno, this map just feels impossible. T-side just feels... The map feels tiny. It feels like you've got no options. CT grenades can be so punishing. We're seeing a lot of calmness in from even Ima walking into this next fight after Wonderful die. They know the round is over. They believe it. It's in the slogan. It's a playoffs where no one can be doubted. The only reason that Navi fall to the wayside in conversations is because there's so many other good conversations to have. It doesn't feel like Navi, you know, got lucky to get here like they did in Copenhagen. It doesn't feel like that. It just feels like everyone's just better than them, that's all. Remember, they're the one who gave Vitality a massive scare coming into playoffs. They could have easily taken Vitality out and put them into the 2-2 game before this quarterfinals was set.
That was a 13-11, 13-11.
And this is the draw they get because they lost that game. They get to play against FURIA, and now here they are up a map. Flying start here on CT side of Inferno. They were left embarrassed in that best of 5 the last time they played
Wonderful
Furia.
auto.
Moves this time by Furia, already trying to pounce out through the brackets. They're going to take this test towards Wonderful, and his first shot is a whiff. As is all of Bit's spray. There we go. Furia getting going into the A-bomb site. Emash short, cuts down 2 players. That could be critical for the retake, but you still offered the guns, the bomb plant, and this smoke on Moto.
With an off play, I mean, this actually might be off limits for the CT side. We got CT spawn rotation for Alexi. No one's coming in from halls. It's going to be a very risky retake. It cost them a lot to try to go for this.
Fallen locked into the pit. Oh, he's got Molodoy to his side. Interesting to see Molodoy hanging on to the AK while Fallen swings that off.
This would just be
so the pressure stays on with the fire being extinguished. Fallen gets his. Molodoy queued up for one. Never did Alexi get a chance to take a look at this bomb site. So Navi think that maybe there was something here to pull on. But I love that Furia show us a bit of ferociousness. One of the fastest rounds of the attack so far between these maps. And it is just a barrel towards that A site, because if you're going to go down in this quarterfinal, then you better go down swinging.
Leave it all out on the table, and you've got nothing to be ashamed about. I think that's the most important thing, and you know, not the irony, but the coincidence of that is if they do leave it all out on the table, they'll probably win, right? They are just that good. They have just that many good players that I'm sensing that someone's leaving tonight, ending tonight with a lot of regret.
But here it is.
But they catch a tempo off of this round too, and that's I think why Navi wanted to get into it. If they brought it down to 1 player, at least they steal back some of the economy, but it's a free op picked up for Furia, so it's a nice way back into the game.
All while Navi knew they would have a buy on the other side, and we see this instant timeout called by Blade as well. So yeah, they got faith in their ability to rebuttal after 1.
It almost feels like they, you know, ideally they save with a couple players, they test that. Maybe if there's a huge mistake, they win it, but if they, worst case, they get a couple kills, get out, and then the next round, they crush the economy again. But they don't, you know, that's why it's so high reward for Furia to win a round like that. Great chance for them.
Navi's willingness to kind of push the limits early.
Guys, we need to focus, please. I don't know what is happening, but can we focus?
It's like a pre-tack message. Get everyone back in order.
Yeah. I feel like that's the first thing he said when that tactical timeout came through, and then he got to work. So here we go towards Banana. Furia's presence on the other side of that half wall. Mikaze looks to lock in. And I mean, there's been no shy amount of grenades coming his direction. So, Molodoy, snapshot down onto Mikaze. No retreat allowed. 5v4 Furia.
That's what was missing on Mirage. Great flick from Molodoy. Another 5v4 situation for Furia. And instantly, everyone at his back.
Get another layer of defense, though, behind this, and the frag grenade is very well placed. 40 damage for KSerato is nothing to scoff at. Alexi B lingers ever so slightly here. We've got that flashbang in hand for his teammate. When does it come over? Oh, insta-kill for the boost. And then he's able to get back into cover with that flash coming through. Fallen was blinded, but he still lines up that headshot before Alexi can get a second.
The layered tactic was wonderful, but here's wonderful.
With an A site that's vacant on one half of it, him solo playing Arch. Does he have the gall to go for this peak? He's starting to inch it closer, but with that smoke grenade in front of him, 20 seconds, they're now going to start prioritizing this. Oh my God! Right between those targets, his op shot sails by. This time, save called. Navi right off this round, and Furia will find a tied game early.
Pre-planned here to get out of there. So Molodoy's opener is massive. The flash to get that into from 1 kill to 2 from Navi was excellent. They pulled that off. And I want to give Alexi B a shout out, actually. You want to compare IGL's fragging right now. Fallen had a really poor performance back on Mirage. Alexi was outstanding on frags, and he's standing up to try to match Wonderful and Bit, who were absolutely incredible. And everybody on the team actually delivered big time. So
that is a sign of good things to come. That Molodoy shot?
Yeah.
Visibly frustrated back on Mirage with his individual level. Mikaze not allowed to get into the action this round whatsoever.
I mean, we've been following Molodoy. It's been such an ephemeral amount of time that we just keep, you know, we don't hesitate and stop, you know, making grand comparisons. But when this kid reminds us of Simple sometimes, you know, has a bad map, it's a moment where we remember, you know, if you want to be a legend, you want to be remembered as a legend. It's games like this, It's runs like this. They have to be completed.
Yeah, I'm so sick of talking about potential.
We've already got Falcons out. You know, we had Maus end up losing to FaZe. Like, there are results that will happen in this playoffs that no one's ready for.
It's the nature of the beast with how stacked things have been here in Budapest. So both teams come into round 7 with guns. This is a similar start to the way Mirage went. And now Mikaze freed up with this
Mikaze
MP9.
nima qilmoqchi?
Okay, jumping over KSerato. Last round we had that frag grenade sailing down to KSerato. This time it's a player on his head. And some utility to try to answer back, but Yuri ends up eating damage and not able to catch him on the recover. So that's Mikaze gone, and Wonderful takes an off angle in the meantime.
Not the most amount of kills for Mikaze, even in the recent weeks, actually. You know, his form joining into Navi was very special. I thought he did a great job.
Wonderful Molodoy.
That's the op spotted at the bomb spotted at a minute. The opper down on the rounds. Wonderful.
And watch him as he sits on this angle. They'll have to smoke him off. And he doesn't send anything through it just yet.
I mean, this is an impossible position for Furia, right? They've got, I mean, it's bottom B dominance. It's 5 players up on the map here for Navi. If Furia want to ignore this, they're going to run into a brick wall on the A site. And so it feels like actually a prolonged save unless they're going to make this happen towards B. Crazy how impactful that one frag was. But Mikaze, yeah, a rookie that we haven't, again, talked about that much, with Molodoy here, with Kyosuke over in the other quarter is getting eliminated earlier. Mikaze hasn't been a donk or anything like that, but he has absolutely been a great piece for Navi. And in the shadow that JL casted, everyone doubted this new lineup. And Mikaze went from, again, I think too much actually relied on him to do everything in the beginning, to it becoming a healthier Navi where now there's other contributors. The real question is, you know, was Wonderful and Bit going to get their form together?
Right.
Because that was the part of the core I feel like was most missing in the most recent months.
Well, Wonderful stepped up to the major, and he delivered in that regard.
And even Mikaze's actual frag count on Mirage, it wasn't very high, but lots of quality kills in there.
So for now, Furia left scratching their heads as Banana Control becomes a bit of a contest, and one that they're not really winning. Not with the confidence that comes up from Mikaze. Again, he's going to try to find something to work with here. And, you know, throwing himself into these threats takes a lot of bravery. Especially when you sit down at 2 and 4, but once more, he has been given a chance to lock into the depths of Banana. Right out of the gate, I mean, Furia, we just see them kind of treading water in that last round, unable to really move, with Banana Control being so secured by Navi so quickly.
The way they set up Mikaze here, he came in very light. This is actually a world where this ends up being an A move, but they throw some light grenades to try to counter this presence over on B. Okay, the second smoke comes down.